What's up, Trojan family? Ryan Dyer here, USC LAFB show. Another update for one of the top interior offensive linemen in the country, Jackson Roper, out of Cherry Creek High School from my home state of Colorado, just dropped his top 10, which, of course, the reason I'm talking about it, included USC, and he has gotten an official visit on the docket there. So his top 10 is Alabama, Georgia, Miami, Michigan, Nebraska, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and USC. So all the big logos in for one of the top offensive linemen in the class. Quickly, just what he's had to say about USC. This is per Steve Wiltfong of Rivals. He said, "What's not to love about USC at this point? All signs are pointing up for one of the most historic programs in college football. They have a great coach, brought in an amazing class in 26, and I happen to be close with a few of the guys that are currently on campus. I train with Brett Collegier at 60, and I played baseball with Cannon Smith for several years before we got to high school. They also have Hayden Treater in the O-line room. We both played for Coach Betty, best O-line coach in the state at Cherry Creek High School." So pretty glowing remarks for USC. He has set his official visit with the Trojans for May 29th. So be on campus. Obviously, those official visits are hugely important as they can get, have this impact and really set the stage for what they can offer. His mentioned his relationship with Brett Collegier. I'll put this up on the screen here. But Brett, quote, tweeted the top 10 and says, "Fight on, Big Hoss, Jackson Roper. Let's start that 6-0 academy to USC FB pipeline." Love that. You love when you see former, not former, but current recruits, I guess, recruiting other players. Jakeem Stewart has done this relentlessly. Brandon Lockhart has been probably one of the biggest voices and biggest recruiters in the 26 class and getting guys. Sean Alston was very big and vocal. A lot of guys. And so, you love when you see that because obviously these kids talk and the relationships kind of run deep and widespread. So if, Breck getting involved, Cannon Smith saying, "Hey, dude, come look what we're doing at USC. Like, let's come here. This Colorado to USC pipeline could really be something special." I talked about that a few weeks ago when USC officially did offer Jackson Roper. And, I think he's a really solid get. He would be one of my top targets in the offensive line for this 27 class. I talked yesterday. I did my full kind of potential 27 roster breakdown, or at least recruiting roster breakdown, which I include like 4 offensive linemen. Jackson Roper is in that 4 that USC is pursuing, but also that I think they are heavily pursuing. And he would probably want to be one of my top ones in that regard. 4-star prospect, 6'4", 290. Rivals industry rankings has him as the 14th ranked interior offensive lineman, but Rivals, their pure rankings, he's a 3-star, 31st ranked, whereas 24/7 and ESPN have him as the 7th ranked offensive lineman. So obviously you combine those, that drops in the 14th, but 24/7 much higher on him than Rivals. So really talented kid, and I think could certainly potentially headline this offensive line class for USC. So gets him on campus on the 29th. Will be a big opportunity for them to really make a big impact and potentially get a commitment when we'll see a slew of spring commitments, and then we'll see a slew of that like June, July after all these guys take officials. And so USC, obviously, as they did last year, will try to get some commitments on those official visits, because if there's any scheduled after, that means if USC gains the commitment, those are no longer happening. Those official visits get canceled because of their policy of, hey, once you're committed, no visits. So someone like Roper, they will try to get to commit on that May 29th date before heading to any other schools like Oregon, like Ohio State, like Texas A&M. So big opportunity, big player. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you didn't see my roster construction breakdown, It's on the channel here. I'll link to it below so it's easy to find. So that just gives you a ton of names and positions, as I believe this will be an 18-person class when it's all said and done. So I break it all down by position and which players to look for at each of those positions. So I'll link that below so you can check that out. But hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate you. Stay tuned for a quick word for our friends over at Sleeper. But as always, family, fight on. What's up, Trojan family? Got to tell you about a quick update from our friends over at Sleeper. Remember, they're the #1 sports app and absolutely fantastic for fantasy and daily fantasy. But they've just added a fantastic new features, and they've launched team picks. So now you can choose winners of each game out there, whether it's NBA, MLB. I know football's over. It's coming back soon. Don't worry. NHL, all those. And you just pick the team winner of each of those games. So here in Los Angeles, Lakers, whoever they're playing next. Do you pick the Lakers? Do you pick their opponent? Dodgers season just around the corner. Are you picking the Dodgers or are you picking their opponent? It's that easy. It's that simple, and it's that much fun. So aside from fantasy, aside from the daily fantasy pick'em, now you can do the team picks that they just launched. So download the Sleeper app today, #1 sports app. Go and check it out and have a ton of fun, and make sure to keep it right here at USC LAFB.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.